Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. It's Joanna. These are going to be your messages for the month of December 2018. I'm going to make this very quick because I myself don't like long intros. Please remember that these are general messages. My intent is to give you something to think about, something to look at from a different perspective in order to help you gain clarity and ultimately that you can become a more empowered you. So rather than focusing on predictions, I am focusing on what may come up for you in the month of December and how some of these situations will allow you to see certain things and perhaps to create certain things for yourself that you have not been able to before. So I always intend on giving you as much information as I can in order to help you evolve. And how you take that information and how you apply it, or if you even consider it, that is entirely up to you. What I would encourage you to do is to listen to it at the end of the month, because these messages are really limitless or timeless. There is really the principles that I ask to give can be applied to really any sign in any situation. So it is important for you to listen with an open heart and an open mind and see how it can help you. Of course, listening to the other signs may offer you more guidance, and above all, don't take anything that I say as gospel. Listen with your heart and allow yourself to feel whether it resonates with you or not. Sometimes I will say things that may trigger you. If that happens, it's a good indication that something inside of you is wanting to say something. So I'm just going to leave it as is. Also, if you are interested in a Uranus projections, it's a 7-month projection. That information is down below on the Vimeo page. And let me see if there's anything else. Thank you, of course, always for watching, for sharing, for subscribing, and for private sessions, if that is what you wish. That information is down below. Thank you again so much. Have yourself a wonderful holiday season if you are practicing it or if you are celebrating it. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye. Hello, beautiful Capricorns. These are going to be your messages for the month of December. I was actually chuckling when I was putting out the cards because most of the cards that I have are the same as the visions I had for you when I was shuffling them. So let me share them with you. My intention always is, and I will say this always from this point on, to provide you information that will allow you to perhaps see things differently about you, which will change the way you live in a positive way. Obviously, that's my intent. So I would encourage you to listen with your heart more so with your head. In other words, a lot of this is metaphors that are meant to help evoke a feeling inside of you that will make you think about this perhaps differently. So if you can find a piece of this information in some way that can help you, that is my greatest wish. All right, let's move on with some messages. How do I put this? There's so many things coming at me. I want to say for some of you, what's the rush? So clearly some of you are in a hurry or in a rush to get somewhere or to have something. There is an absolute clear indication that some of you, if not many of you, majority of you, would consider yourselves as going through an end of a career. And boom, there it is. An end of a career, an end of a cycle, an end of a relationship, an end of a chapter. It's a felt perception for many of you. For some of you, you've been seeing this in front of you unfolding. Many of you are reaching what is being called the pinnacle of your life in terms of opportunities. And that means, to me, for you, that you are coming to a point of your own soul's evolution where you can start attracting more of what you want, providing you know what you want. And there is a lot more opportunity for you to receive it. you're at that pinnacle. You look up the word pinnacle. I'm going to have to look it up and what it really means. English is my second language. So yes, there are career changes, there are relationship changes, but more than that, what I feel is the biggest change I feel is one in your mind, or one of your mind. The world, which is traditionally the tarot card world, is an indication of an end of a cycle. It does connect to me with travel. Some of you may be traveling around the world. For some of you, you will be traveling in order to escape certain situation, or maybe even decision you don't want to make. But more than anything, for most of you, this is travel in terms of your mind. It's expanding your horizons. It's expanding the way you see the world, and also how you show up in the world in terms of giving and receiving love. So it seems to be directed towards love emotion. So it certainly would speak to relationships, but not necessarily. Love overall is with each and every one of us. And I don't want to get too deep on this, but let's just leave it there. How many of you show up in terms of giving and receiving love seems to be the theme here around the month of December, January or so. So you might be thinking of traveling. You might be thinking of taking a tour somewhere that will allow you to expand your awareness. I just heard the word Brazil. So maybe one of you is going to Brazil. I believe Brazil has really beautiful spiritual places. I'm sure every country does. For some of you, you will be traveling overseas, perhaps to see a family, but in all fairness, it is a holiday season, so that would be expected, right? But it is noting to me an end of an era for many of you. Traditionally speaking, it is an end of an era. Hence, they said patience. For those of you who are trying to reach a certain destination really fast, and you're like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? You are meant to relax a little and let it come to you. So what I'm already sensing is that some of you are chasing after something quite vigorously. When we chase after something, it is always because we fear of not having it. And whenever we chase something, it is also implied that whatever it is we're chasing is running away from us. So it's a never-ending chase or a battle. And this is a battle inside of yourself. And if you believe in whatever is going on in yourself, in other words, if you believe that you don't have, or you're afraid of not having what you're chasing, then chances are this is what you will be repeating. So the example is being here given is this. Let's say you are someone who is chasing after a love relationship. You just want to be in a relationship. You just want to be loved. You just want to be loved. And this is not about, being open to just, relationship coming in. It's not about that. It's this constant fear of thinking, oh my God, I'm getting too old. Oh my God, I'm not going to get this. That sort of energy, it's a very hasty, very disorganized energy. It's one rooted in fear. That is something that you will need to figure out in order to manage your expectations. Why is this being said? Because what you expect, which comes from what you believe, will eventually be what you attract to, you eventually accept. So since some of you are not wanting what you have, which means you now have to change your expectations. And your expectations come from deep inside of yourself based on the way you usually grow up, and you have certain ideas about life. So, particularly when it comes to love, if you have felt lack of it on some level, or let's use this example. If you have felt lack of it to some extent, or it was shown to you that love hurts, chances are you have a belief system that when it comes to love, it's not very pleasant. Now, naturally, you will want someone to love you, but if your belief is that love hurts, you will create those scenarios for yourself because that is your truth, and you will always go after for what is true for you. So, the first message or card that represents your theme is sad embrace. This is an energy that talks about being stuck in your past in terms of, I want to say the word being a victim, but is there another word I could use? I want to say it differently. You are stuck feeling sorry for yourself because whatever it is that you want somehow escapes you. Everybody else gets it, but you don't. What's wrong with me? Why don't I have it? And it's being stuck in that constant feeling of whatever that is. Now, if you are dealing with something that doesn't bring you joy, particularly if you're chasing after something, examine your beliefs about the very thing that you're chasing after, because chances are whatever it is that you're chasing is rooted in the idea that you really can't have it. So we have to learn how to manage that belief system so that you don't keep running into a wall, particularly with love relationship. But this can be in any area, including work, finding work that pays you good money. If your value about yourself is very low, you will keep attracting corresponding situations. There's just no other way. It's universal law. We just don't often see it on the surface. So examine your beliefs. Examine where you are stuck in thinking that, because this is what happened, that's you feel sorry for yourself. That's what I'm going to say. Now, I also want to be mindful that feeling sorry is an emotion, and just like any emotion, it's neither good nor bad. So it is not about not feeling sadness for yourself. It is about being stuck in it, and as a result, not getting what you want. So never deny yourself feelings, never deny yourself emotions. It is what you do with them and how they affect you, either in positive or negative way, that then becomes a problem. So address your belief systems about what it is that you're chasing or what it is that you believe you can't have. The next card you have is brilliant, because once you address what that is, the card open comes through. I feel many of you are ready to be open to love, to new experiences, to new horizons. You see this open space. This person, this lady, is standing on a rock. Rock to me symbolizes many things. Number one, it's pretty hard, and it tells me many of you have had a pretty rough foundation. Perhaps growing up, perhaps, most through your life, but you are now standing on top of this rock. Green dress to me symbolizes, number one, it's healing, but number two, some of you may have body aches. That's really interesting. Some of you may have problems with legs. Some of you may have problems with what is it that your legs always move or your feet always move? It's like you're constantly running. I feel this is anxiousness. Your body is working on anxiety. That's how it works it out for itself. Point is, you've done some healing and you're ready to move on. Now, a lot of the healing is emotional, right? It is you addressing certain things. So be open to new horizons by looking at life differently, looking at yourself differently. Because you look at life through your glasses, through yourself, through your filters. So open for change is what I want to say. There is great stability with this, but there's also choices and decisions to be made. Hence why I felt many of you are wanting to get somewhere really fast. Brand new beginning is inevitable. It is inevitable. But there are some things we first must address. All right. Now, what are some of the things that you are going through emotionally? Ultimate evolution is when we go from a rigid set of beliefs, move through certain situations, generally challenges, that allow us to see things differently. In other words, once we have a felt perception of something that's different, then the idea begins to change in our minds about how we see things. It also tells me that you might be going through some uncomfortable moments, perhaps feeling like your past is releasing you. It literally feels like you're coming out of a cave. So perhaps some of you were hiding. Maybe you were literally hiding in your shell, and we usually hide to protect ourselves. Maybe you have been hiding, and therefore you're not attracting what you most desire. Be love, be abundance, be relationship, whatever it is. You are going through an evolution, and that's a good thing. And before you know it, there's a brand new beginning. So if it feels a little bit rough, it is not that it's meant to, because I don't want you to think that you're deserving of it. It's not that. It's when we go through certain things that are uncomfortable, it gives us the pressure we need in order to shift and change. And change as we know it isn't always comfortable. The idea of balance comes up again, and it's funny when I was seeing this card, because balance is what I was being talked to about you for the month of December. So this is about looking what is out of balance in your life, addressing things that are out of balance in your life. Whatever those things are, generally they stem from something inside of you being out of balance, because what is outside of you is a reflection of what is in you. So the idea of chasing, if you feel like you're always chasing something that you can't seem to have, you ask yourself this question: what do I really truly believe about this that makes this so difficult for me? In other words, you're creating constant friction inside of yourself. Part of you wants it, the other part is probably afraid of it. Okay, so what is out of balance in your life? What emotions are out of balance? Where are your thoughts out of balance that make you swing too much one way, too much the other way? Also, always remember, it's everything about finding that middle point. It's never 50-50. Whatever middle point is for you, whatever the balancing point is for you. Coming full circle to me is the same as saying you've got the World card, which is what I saw for you. So yes, many of you are coming full circle, and it will feel that way. It will also feel as if for many of you, you are going through a process of some perceived loss. It's a felt perception of losing something. Now, this is not you losing something that you have. I don't feel that's for most of you. This is having the sense like something is leaving you. So there might be that. It's as if to say in a different way, a part of you is dying. You may have those moments where you feel really weird, like a part of you, like you're letting go of something that needs to be no longer. And that is called transitions. Calling our parts home is a message that talks about bringing yourself back to you. When we hide, when we reject ourselves, when we pretend certain things are not within us, when we push our emotions, whatever it is, we do these, every single person does it. It causes frictions inside ourselves because we deny aspects of ourselves for various reasons. And these aspects that we deny end up becoming responsible for the things that we're dealing that we don't want. So they create problems in our lives. So this is about you looking, first and foremost, always inside yourself and ask yourself this question again: what is out of balance within me? And the beautiful thing is that you will always know it when you allow yourself to feel it. This is not a thought exercise. It's not a thinking exercise. It's not a logical exercise. This is an exercise of a feeling, and some of you are afraid to feel. It's difficult for you to feel. And I get that. Many people have that problem for various reasons. What are some of the things about you that you are rejecting? Are you rejecting the idea that you will ever be loved unconditionally and fully? Are you rejecting that? Do you not believe it? And if you don't believe it, why don't you believe it? What's causing you not to believe it? I don't want to get overcomplicated, but it is you educating yourself. How do you love, and how do you show love, and how do you accept love from others? Assistance without interference is a very interesting message, because this is a message about several things. One, making sure that you do not feed your own importance or ego by being overly protective or overly assisting in other people's lives. In other words, if you spend more time caring and helping others, notice if the reason why you do it is because you're resisting dealing with your own. So that's number one. The second one is, notice if there are any places where you perhaps help, but your help becomes an interference. And a simple example would be, let's say you have kids who are grown, yet at the age of, let's say, I don't know, I'm going to throw a number, 25 or 30, you feel like you need to bring them soup in the middle of the day to their bedroom, and they live together, and you just totally dote on them to the point that, well, you're preventing them from growing. So that's one drastic example. Another message is, what is it in your life that is interfering with what you want in terms of circumstances outside of you? Are you putting up an act with certain people in order to avoid a confrontation? And this is more a pleasing quality. So another way of saying it is, are you letting other people take you away further from what you're trying to achieve? So let's say you might be stuck at a job that you absolutely don't like, hate maybe, and your vision is to, let's say, be a speaker, right? Well, if you continue to be stuck in your job and you refuse to take a chance, then that job is interfering with where you're going or where you're supposed to go. So that's a drastic example. Also, people who have certain influence on you that prevents you from being truly you. These people could be now in front of you, or these people could be somewhere in the past where you have had a difficult experience and their energy still affects you to this day. It's very important for you to realize. So noticing what some of those things are. Queen of Swords to me indicates back to business. So this is about regaining your mental strength, regaining clarity, feeling in control, your mind being very sharp, not being overwhelmed by all the feelings and emotions, and also not denying yourself feelings and emotions. About the balancing part. So this is someone who is ready to take action, ready to move forward, but from a place of clarity and a place of strength. There's also a sense of vulnerability here, and her hands is reaching out, and she's trusting that when she reaches out, something good would come to her. So there's a balance here, emotionally speaking. For some of you, King of Wands shows up in reverse, and all this is telling me is that there is some person in your life that represents this quality. This is someone who can be very moody, withholds emotionally, could be someone with anger issues, control. This may be someone that you are working with, or you are feeling that way right now around your future. In other words, you may feel all over the place, and that may bring up some old stuff from the past. Point is, you are eventually moving into this energy, clarity. Oftentimes crystal clear clarity, and oftentimes clarity where it can bite. So what I will say to you here, because this is a very honest individual, what I will say here is that when you get to the point where you become to be very honest with yourself and you become very honest with others, without making excuses why you're wanting what you're wanting, or taking your life back, watch how you say things so that you don't accidentally poke people too sharply. In other words, you have a very, very powerful voice, many of you, and what you say can bite. And sometimes that causes things that are unnecessary hurts. So just be mindful of how you say things over the next little while. And is there anything that I need to share with them? I can see many of you are trying to see the future. What's the future? What's the future? What's it look like? What's it look like? And I feel like, wait, you're not supposed to know yet. And there's an element of surprise for many of you. I feel it's career, for some of you it's other things. There's an element of surprise that awaits you, I want to say, first part of next year. Whether that is love, whether that is passion, whether that is creativity, whatever feels good and is exciting. I feel many of you will experience this, and I hear the word birth. So, well, maybe some of you are birthing an actual physical baby, human baby, or some of you are birthing something new, the brand new chapter. Here we go again, the brand new chapter. So with that said, do the best you can to stay emotionally as balanced as possible. Use your mind creatively, but use it wisely. And for some of you, I see spending a lot of money. Many of you are givers. For some of you, I want to say, there is no need to overspend so much in order to make people believe you care about them. They know you do anyway. So this is going to be for some of you who are trying to prove your care for them in some physical sense. You don't need to do that. There is no need. So this message will be important to some of you. And I think that's all I have. I hope this was helpful. Please take this with an open mind. Listen to it at the end of the month. Listen to it with your heart. Notice where in your life you can connect with this, and I do wish you best of luck. If this makes sense, please comment down below for private sessions with me, which I would be super delighted. That information is down below, and wonderful holidays to you, whatever you are not experiencing, whatever you are celebrating or not celebrating, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye.